Statistical significance is not everything when running an A/B test. And a lot of brands make this huge mistake, which is to end the test simply when they reach statistical significance. Now, for many reasons that I won't explain in this super short video, that is a pretty bad idea because it does lead to what we call, or could lead, I should say, to what we call a false positive. You see, on top of statistical significance, you want to make sure that you've got a couple other things lined up right in order to make sure you're not getting a false positive. And a false positive is not something you want, because when you think about it, a false positive means that you think a test is a winner, you're excited, you celebrate about your great test win that potentially increased your conversion by 20% or so, and then you implement it. And turns out you made the wrong decision. Turns out that test was actually a loser that's costing you thousands and thousands of dollars every month. And you may never even find out that that loss is actually caused by that test. But that's a false positive, and it's more common than you think. So if you want to avoid accidentally implementing what you think is a winning test that's actually costing you big bucks, you want to make sure you remove any chances that you're implementing a false positive. Now, in order to do that, there's a couple things that you can do, and there's actually more than I will mention in this video, but here are my 3 basic things to look at to make sure that a test is truly a winner. Now, the third one is actually my favorite. But the first one is pretty simple. Well, you want to make sure that you run your test for full weeks, and ideally at least 2 full weeks, if not 3 or 4. What that does is that it flattens out the potential anomalies that you could be getting from different days of the week. For example, you may have a week where you sent more emails to your audience, which could increase your conversions, but the next week your returning customers didn't get as many emails, and therefore you had a lower conversion rate. But it's totally unrelated to the test you're running. So to just flatten out those potential outside factors, you want to run your test for at least 2, 3, or 4 full weeks. Now, the second thing that you want to look at is the amount of conversions that's going through each of your test variants, right? So let's say you don't have a lot of traffic and you only have, let's say 20 conversions in your control and 25 conversions your variant. Chances are you wouldn't see statistical significance anyways, but the thing is, when you have such low numbers, it only takes a couple more conversions to completely shift the results of your test, for your test to go from a winner to a loser or to go from a loser to a winner. So you want to make sure that your test actually holds true for, large volumes and large quantities. So in order to do that, well, I just said it, you need larger volumes. There's no golden rule in terms of numbers, but personally and with our clients, we always look for a couple of hundred transactions minimum per variant in order to feel, a bit more solid about the results that we're going to see. Now, the third thing is probably my favorite, but also the least known or least used. In all of the A/B testing tools out there, whether that's Intelligence or Convert or others, you can actually get trend lines of the performance of each of your variants. Meaning you can see the conversion rate, revenue per user, whatever metric that you choose to look at, and you can see how it's performing over time against the other variants of that test. Now, what is great with this is a test that doesn't have big potential to win or to hold its results. Well, what you might see is that your variant or your control, or both variants or all your variants, they're going to shift places continuously over time. The results are not stable. And that means that if you were to stop the test and implement it, you may not get stable results or results that are holding over time. So what you want to look for, just as you can see on the screen now, you want to look for stable trends. The tests that you can be the most confident in are those where you see that after maybe a week or so, the performance of your variant is holding and it's continuously performing better than the one of control. When that happens, you can be a lot more certain that your winner is truly a winner. And of course, that's combined with everything else I mentioned in this video. So don't make the expensive mistake of launching an A/B test or implementing a test that will actually cost you a lot of money. And you can do that by doing those 3 things I mentioned: being careful with your sample size, making sure you're running your test on full weekly periods, obviously hitting statistical significance to a certain extent, but also making sure that your test results are holding over time. So that's it. I'm Raphael, founder of SplitBase. I hope this video was helpful, and if you want more of this, make sure to like and follow for more.